I picked up the phone and phoned my office. "I'm not coming in," I sobbed down the phone. My boss at the BBC said, "Olivia, is the baby okay?" The baby. The baby? Yes, the baby's okay, but I'm not. And I slammed down the phone. I'd just been for my scan at the Whittington Hospital in London. There was an alien in my womb. It was moving about. It had taken up residency there. I didn't feel like most mothers should. Do you know what it's like to have something moving around in your tummy? Do you know what that feels like? It's weird. You know, I think it's some mad scientific experiment. I think it's a really weird concept. It's bizarre that a person can grow a person inside another person. I mean, you don't grow a tomato inside a tomato. A person inside a person, it's like a genetically modified experiment. I wasn't a normal mum, and my baby wasn't exactly a normal baby. When the baby came, I didn't love it. Why would I? I didn't know it. It was a baby. You know, it didn't do anything. It had not really any personality. It was a thing. And this thing, which was a bit like an octopus, because it had wobbly arms and legs and a head, and you were told you had to sort of hold all 5 things up together at the same time, you know, it was really difficult. And so I had a brilliant idea. I got hold of a pillow, and I put the pillow down, put it on top, and carried the pillow around. It was perfect. From cot to breast to kitchen table, I didn't have to bother about all the bits. My husband said to me, "Olivia, shouldn't you, for bonding with Zoe, hold her to you?" Should. Everyone's going to tell you what you should do as a mother. We know that, don't we? Put your hands up if you know that. Yeah. What you should do. You should breastfeed. What, you give it bottled milk? And what about those people that are not mothers? You should be a mother. What do you mean you're not going to have children? God, they're selfish. They're selfish. And what about those people that decide not to live with their life partner? Spinster. I mean, gosh, you should live with someone. What, you choose to live alone? I want to be the should slayer. It's the same in the professional world. Should. I worked in loads of media companies. Take the BBC, for instance. You should be really proud to be working at the BBC. You should be happy to work really long hours. You should be happy about the fact that it doesn't pay you any money because it's prestige. You shouldn't have a baby because that's difficult. And you should want to be a producer. And maybe you should have gone to Oxford and Cambridge as well. Should. Well, I want to be a should slayer. When I got through to the World Championship of Public Speaking, as you heard, the only woman finalist, there should have been more people there, more women in the finals, but there weren't. Why? Why was it that at the beginning of the competition, there were loads of women? Where did they all go? Why didn't they make it to the end? Just like in a company, There's loads of women at the beginning, yeah? And all those desperate managers wondering how they're going to feed their funnel. Where are the women up at the top? They're not there. Why? I believe because it's the pressure of should. How should a leader be? How should a career woman be? How should we juggle all those balls? After the championship, I set myself up in my own business as a trainer and keynote speaker. And I gathered my family around me. I say family because by this time, my alien had multiplied. They do have a tendency to do that, aliens. So watch out. I gathered them round me and I said, okay, guys, this is how it is. I'm going to give up my job in television and I'm going to go and be a professional speaker and trainer. Now, what I'm going to need is your help. Glazed look. Now, I'm going to be working from home, so it's going to look like I'm not working. But that doesn't mean you can come and ask me for money every 5 minutes. I'm going to be working at home, and I'm going to need your help in order to wear the 20 hats that I'm going to need to wear. You know, marketing, internet, PR, public relations, speaking, a social expert, and all the other hats that many people in this audience know that you have to wear when you start up on your own. And so I asked them selfishly, I'm going to need your help because I'm not going to be able to juggle all the balls. My kids were really supportive. Go on, Mum, you do it. Go away, follow your dream. I think they were secretly waiting to enjoy the freedom that my newfound many hats would give them. But I didn't get the sort of support that I needed. And many of those balls that I tried to keep in the air, all those shoulds, that it's okay to have your own business, but you should also be at the parent meeting. You should also be the football mum. You should also go to the gymnastic classes. You should also check that they're doing their homework properly. You should also have food on the table. You should also make sure you listen to your husband. How was his day? Should. I want to be the should slayer. The help I needed didn't come, and many balls started to fall on the floor. Unfortunately, one of them was my marriage. Nevertheless, we women find it very hard to not only say what we want and demand what we want, but get what we want. The support that we need and that we deserve and that we want. We call it selfishness. I've heard other people call it strong-mindedness, single-mindedness. And despite the fact that I see myself as a feminist, being strong-minded does not come easily. Feminism, there's another should. I was brought up by a really strong mother. She was tough, and she brought me up to be tough. And I brought my kids up to be tough. We are tough women, strong, provocative, professional, powerful women. How strong? Stronger than a man? Stronger than any man. There was no side, there was no place for my soft side. I didn't realize I had a soft side. The feminine side, the gentle side. I felt like Joan of Arc. I'm a warrior, keep back! I don't know really if I felt. I went through my whole life with a sword in my hand. The shoulds of being a feminist. But I want to have my own business, and I don't want to be hard and push and worry about making everything completely go my way against all odds. I want to listen, and I want to care, and I want to be gentle. I want to be kind. I want to be considerate and compassionate and soft. Is it possible to run your own business and be that sort of person? I think it is. And that's the sort of person I would like to be. My aliens grew up into teenagers. It's not a pretty sight. But they grew up into fabulous, feisty, fantastic females. Well, they're too feisty, if you ask me. They're quite a handful. But I love them absolutely and completely. Not because I should, but because they're absolutely terrific. My youngest alien came to me and she said, "Mum, I want your permission. I want to go on an adventure." I said, "Right, what's this adventure like then?" "Well, what I want to do is I want you to buy me a backpack and a sleeping bag and a gas stove and these sort of moon meals you get in a packet, and I want to go off on the train into the middle of absolutely nowhere and get out, and I want to walk 25 kilometres and sleep in the wild under the stars, making my own food, using purification tablets to get water from the stream, and making my own meals and drinking my purified water, and laying there under the stars, and do it the next day and the next." This wasn't any child. This was my child. This was my daughter. This was a girl who was asking me if she could go into the middle of nowhere completely alone and sleep without a tent completely in the wild. I should have said no. But I'm a should slayer. And terrified as I was, I said yes. If this was my son, we'd all be saying, "Ah, a rite of passage." But as it's my daughter, we're saying, irresponsible parenting. You know about that. I let her go. The preparation was fantastic to see. I've never seen someone so organised. Forget the homework. They can't do the homework, but organising this trip, the backpack and all the stuff, the maps, working out the routes, how many kilometres a day, so on and so forth. Brilliant. Off she went. At the time, I was in America doing a job, so I was a long way from home. And I checked with my husband, make sure you're constantly in contact with that phone. I was worried. She got on the train. She got off. She walked those 25 kilometres. She set up her camp. She got the water from the stream. She put her purifying tablets in. She ate that horrible food. She lay down under the stars. There was a rustling in the bush. Something was there. She was frightened. It was coming towards her. What was it? It was 3 deer. Oh dear. It was 3 deer. She was frightened. She thought, they're not going to see me. I'm lying there without a tent under the stars, and they might trample on me. Suddenly beside her, there was a pair of eyes. What was it? It was a hedgehog. It was all too much for a city chick. She packed everything together. She went to the nearest town. She sat on the bench in the freezing cold and phoned her dad, "Come and pick me up." I got home from America and I said, "I am so proud of you." And she said, "What are you proud of me for? I failed." And I said, "You didn't fail. You defied all shoulds to do what you shouldn't have done, what no parent should have let you do. You defied all shoulds, and you went out and you did your task. And more importantly, when those should voices told you, you should stay, you've got something to prove, you didn't listen to those shoulds. You said, despite all this work and effort to get here, I don't need to stay if I'm frightened. I'm going to go back home. Nina, I said, you are a should slayer. It's an incredibly weird concept that we need to, or we think we should, know how to lead before becoming a leader, know how to mother before becoming a mother, know how to be an adventurer before having any adventure. If we allow the shoulds to dictate how we feel, not only our own shoulds, but everybody's shoulds, other people's shoulds, society's shoulds, our office's shoulds, it will crush our creativity, our innovation, our own unique voice. You are not most mothers. You are not most leaders. And you are certainly not most women. Hey, you're TEDxWomen. So next time the should syndrome comes near you, think about what you're going to do. I'm a should slayer. Join me and slay the shoulds together. Okay.